Yeah, you guys being on here, I just hit record. I want to tell y'all what I just told Dan. And I hit the record button and I said, let's rock and roll buttholes. And that's what my sister-in-law taught my children. And Dan's a dad. So let's get this going.
Oh, you gotta love her for teaching your kids that. That's good.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So, welcome back to another episode of Call Her Creator, powered by Stan. I'm your host, Caitlin Rhodes. And today I have a very special guest who is not only a friend, but I feel like you're a colleague because you're in the space of Instagram and you are absolutely crushing it on Instagram with your reels and your content. But beyond that, guys, he is a full time realtor. So I don't even know how he manages all the things that he does. And he's a dad and he's a husband. So, like, you're a unicorn, basically, Dan.
Well, thank
But
you.
what we're, yes, you're welcome. What we're going to be talking about today is if you're a busy entrepreneur who's trying to grow your account and make money from social and you really just don't know what you're doing or where to start, we're basically going to pick Dan's brain and figure out how he does it all. So maybe you guys can get some tips from him to do it yourselves. So, Dan, we're just going to dive right into it. Before we
Love
get
it.
into your Instagram growth journey, tell us who you are. Tell us about you. How'd you get started in real estate? Did you always know you wanted to use social media to grow it? Fill us in. Introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
for sure. My name's Dan McKinnon. I am here in Sarasota, Florida. I live on the Gulf Coast, about an hour south of Tampa. I am here. I've lived here for about 6 years now. I'm originally grew up in the Boston area, just north of Boston. I went to school for advertising at Johnson& Wales University, so I've always been kind of a creative guy. I started my own advertising agency in college and ran that for 10 years. And during that time, I started a seafood festival, an events planning company that did a seafood festival. Hit some, as much as the world goes through, I hit some mental struggles and had a little bit of a mental breakdown and kind of wanted to get out of New England, sold those businesses, moved down to Florida, lived on the East Coast for a little bit, and I got into e-commerce. And e-commerce was really a fun tool for me to kind of process the change of life for me. I got sober, and so that was a
Woo!
really cool thing for me to go through. But at the same time, e-commerce was a kind of cool opportunity for me. At the same time, obviously in e-commerce, I was importing a lot of goods from China. I needed to find a way to uh, get a lot of money to order the products, and I had some friends in real estate, and that's literally everyone says, "How'd you get into real estate?" And I go, "I needed $300,000 to order flashlights from China." And that's
Stop.
literally the story. So I got my real estate license to fund another business, and I realized the crazy part about it is I had some friends that ran a team here locally, and they had some, nice leads platform set up so you could just jump right in, just do sales and roll. And what I found is, to answer your question and kind of why we're here, is video really did well for me, and content in general. And when I say content, I mean anything that communicated what I was about to the public. And I think that I found a lot of really great growth on Instagram. And so I made 300 grand, and COVID
Woo!
happened, and e-commerce didn't go anywhere because, I wasn't importing stuff from China anymore. So I literally sat there. I was like, well, I guess I'm pretty good at real estate.
Wow.
And that was after like 1.5 years in real estate. So, fast forward, I started becoming, at the same time, I started a local Instagram page called All Sarasota, which is all is a local life. And my real estate company is called Local Life Homes. So that basically was another way for me to share the area. So I would collab with my own Instagram page. My Instagram page is Dan the Realtor. So it's a lot of real estate based stuff, but a lot of lifestyle stuff. On All Sarasota, I grew that as like a main hub for people to find why you would live in Sarasota and the local businesses and stuff. So, um, long story short is I ended up staying in real estate, and I still do that now. And I run multiple Instagram profiles to gain communication hubs and different ways to promote the area and lifestyle. I'm very much a lifestyle agent. I sell through showing people the area and not really homes. I don't do a lot of home tours. I don't do a lot of facts and, talking head style stuff. So
Education.
yeah, so that's a little bit about me, and my start. Obviously, I have a bit of a background in advertising and creative arts. And I think that's really helpful. But at the same time, there's a lot that I've learned myself, and I think that it just comes from a passion of wanting to learn.
Yes, love that. Yeah, so Dan has added me to his little green circle people, and it's always like inspiring, wanting to learn motivational stuff. But you actually are always so sidetrack, guys. I do trainings for a brokerage twice a month. And Dan, you're always in my presentations because your content is so good. So Dan doesn't focus, like he said, like on the generic, like educational type talking head videos. It's more so like, here's why you want to live here. And your videos are beautiful. So two questions here. First one is, was there one video that took off in the beginning that you're like, wow, this could be something powerful? Or was it like a trickle effect of
No,
everything?
I've only ever had one viral video, and it really didn't do too much for me. Maybe I've actually had two, but
That?
um, honestly, it was the interest came from when I moved to Sarasota. I said to myself, I think it was even out loud. I said, "How do not more people know about this place?" And
Boom.
I think I said that out loud, and I was like, "There's something here. There's something here that I want to share with other people." And coming from New England, it's dark and dreary for half the year and a little bit depressing. But I think that for myself, I wanted to share. I had lived over in Boca Raton, Delray Beach area for a bit, and it was super busy, a lot of traffic. And I found Siesta in Sarasota super calming. It just was this different feeling, and I just wanted to share that. So there
Mhm,
was no ever metric, or there was no reason to really share other than wanting to share. And I think that
mhm,
that's why I found immediate success in it, because I saw other people go, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know about this," or "Oh wow, that's so cool." And I had this genuine back and forth, and I think it came from curiosity. Like, I was new here, so I wanted to be like, "Hey, let's explore more." And people that have been in a city for so long probably take it for granted, certain things,
mhm,
and that's just life, and you get used to it. But for myself, I was curious, and I was always curious to show people, what are the different beaches like? What is it like walking up there? What is the parking lot like? And just
mm,
being curious. And I think that that showed me small success, and it was never a viral thing. It was just one-off conversations. Now in real estate, it's a little different, right? I'm not selling a trinket or something that I may have a profit margin of $3 or $4, right? And I
right.
know that world, so I get it. But with real estate, it's one conversation, right? One conversation can lead to a ten to $20,000, transaction for me. So
Mhm,
for me, it was always about shock and awe. How can I shock
mm,
or awe people in my
mm,
content to bring them closer to ask a question, or to remember me, or to share it? Then from there, it was just trying to say, like, what brought you to my page? Like, what brought you to wanting to move to Florida? Everybody has some side of kind of way that they want to move to Florida or this vacation world, right? But
yeah.
I think that asking people more questions was my secondary success in Instagram, because it wasn't, and I guess that's really what a lot of people have found in messaging now, and in trying to get people into direct messaging. But it was just asking people, like, what do you want to know about this? And in
Mhm.
I think the curiosity is what kind of drove me to a little bit more attraction.
1000%. You saying, "Why don't more people know about this?" That's exactly how I started my own story is, "Holy shit, I can make all this money from social media. Why don't more people know about this?"
Right?
And then you just wanna sell that you almost sell that lifestyle, which is what you do with your all of your videos and kinda what I do too. I do a lot of educational stuff as well, but I've noticed that these accounts that share the lifestyle of what they're doing, they end up going viral or going off, or they're making 7 figures, because they're sharing that lifestyle. And then you also talked about the shock and awe, which I haven't heard that phrase in forever. I feel like it's like from the 2000s, but
Probably.
it's
That's my big
exactly it's exactly what reels are too, and what you have to stop the scroll. So like, with what comes with a shock and what makes a shock and awe for you?
Yeah, so shock and awe was like the basis of all Sarasota stuff. So if you go to all Sarasota page, it is the reason it's grown over to 33,000 followers now. It's
Woo!
just really shock and awe content. And when I say shock and awe, it's not anything bad. If anything, Sarasota's paradise, so it's
Mhm.
always really good stuff. It's always good news. But shock and awe is something that is, ooh, oh wow. if you can get that reaction to someone when they scroll, they're like, "Oh," if you
That's
can
how I
get someone to
feel
stop
on
and
your videos.
yeah, well, and that's I have thousands of videos and I have
Mhm,
thousands of content ideas and stuff, but I never share certain things because to be totally honest, I am a perfectionist and this is not going to
mhm,
be like there's gold inside perfectionism. And
mhm,
I think that been a long time of people are like, "Oh, perfectionism is the worst and this and that." And it is. It's horrible. It can paralyze you. But there's a piece of it that's good with branding
mhm,
because it makes you so focused on certain types of content and the way we make people feel. And so
mm,
that's with the shock and awe. It was more of just I really wanted people just to stop. I wanted to stop the scroll. And that was, to be honest, I really wanted to do that before that stop the scroll kind of idea came out was because I just wanted people to stop and take in nature. And that's what I did
mhm,
when I came to Sarasota. I
mm,
just sat at the beach and it didn't feel like corporate America. It felt like small businesses and I love small businesses. I've started 7 different small businesses myself. So I'm all about that small person against corporate America and big box and concrete world. So for me, I really wanted people to take in the waves slowly coming in, the
mhm,
sunset slowly going down. And if you look at some of my content, I don't, yes, I do. It's all mixed. So I'm not going to say one phrase or not, but there are a handful of stuff that I don't do quick cuts. I'll just
mm,
let a 7-second sunset just sit there.
mm. It's
And the
healing.
thing about that is for me, I'd rather see what the audience wants. Like I
Mm,
play with it. And so it's always been curiosity to me where what can I put out there for people to find and that's where I found really great success in Reels is because people share it over and over and over. And so the shock and awe has always been something where it's like if I can just share something that most people aren't sharing and share it in a way where other people want to share it, and there's techniques to that. Like if you
mhm,
want to dive into deeper of that, it's like making sure my branding's not all over it. I want
mhm.
people to share that.
No,
So
let's talk about 3 techniques when it comes to your video. What are some, high level things, some of these
yeah,
things
for
you can do
sure.
listening?
So especially in real estate, everyone wants to protect their work. It's like one of the most dangerous things in the entire world you could do is protecting your work because our work is really just an evolving creative cycle of everything we see in our life. That's all it is. It's so everything we want to do or create is we've probably seen a version of it at some point. So we're just learning from it. And now I am so against the whole take what someone did and just reverb it to yours like all the time. Like it's one thing to redo a video, it's another to just sit there and try to steal creative ideas.
Mm,
But I do think one of the things you can do is be cool with people sharing. So the first tactic is make it shareable. Don't put all
mm.
your crap in front of it. Don't put your face on it. Don't put your name on it. Don't put a phone number. I share a lot of move to Florida stuff. Do you know who the biggest sharer of those reels are? Are real estate agents. They go to they go and they put it on their story and they stretch just enough so my name's out of it. I
Ah,
see it all the
rude,
time. Like
rude.
it doesn't matter to me though. It doesn't. Here's the thing because people are it's sharing it. It's only going to show more people my thing. So
Yeah.
here's the cool part is I make it so other people, my competition shares my thing. So if anything,
Ooh.
I'm reaching a larger amount of people. Second thing, I make it very generic. So it's not to really like I'm super niche. I sell in Sarasota. We're not even that like what the 54th biggest city in Florida. I made that up. I have no idea what the stat is. But it's a small city. So, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. I can make money also off of referring business around Florida. So I make a very niched audience for myself to talk about, but I also share broad ideas and broad things like move to Florida. So
Mm,
secondarily, you want to be niche in what you talk about as the expert, but at the same time, you want to be able to be talking about broad things. If you're in HVAC, you can talk about how mildew grows in Florida over the drainage, but also you can talk about HVAC is in the whole southeast of the United States of America. Like it's all right to talk about that. So those are two pieces. And then the third thing is do enough research to know what people are looking for.
mm,
And when I say that, I mean I when I say generic, I post a lot of sunset or beach videos, right? Just plain
mm.
videos. But what's in the caption may go with what people are looking for. So one
Yeah.
of my best blogs on our website is Siesta Key Hurricane Rebuilding. Like that's one of the we rank for like 1 or 2 in Google if you just search Siesta Key Hurricane Rebuilding or Destruction or like that. We do a lot of blogging. But what we do is we follow that with our captions and what we do online. When I say we, I'm talking about my 7 brains up here. It's one person. I don't have a team. It's me.
Stop.
So when I say we, it's me. So what I do is I go off of that though, and then I'll have a video of Siesta Key and I'll talk about that. Hey, Siesta Key has undergone a lot of crazy damage because of the hurricanes that just hit last year, because of the rebuilding. But here's the cool part. All the SEO works together. So if people are searching for that on Google, I know they're searching that for it on Instagram. So it may not give people a big dreary image of Siesta Key destruction and roofs missing, but it's giving people the same idea that, hey, this is beautiful Siesta, but this is what people are talking about.
Mhm.
So I think share your stuff and make sure that people in your industry see it as a tool to expose your industry, but also be an expert at what you do, and then be broad but stay niche. And then I forget what the last one was. Whatever I just said.
You are a freaking gold mine. That was good and powerful. And so true. People focus in so much on, well, especially realtors. Every training I have, I have to talk to them about their listings because are you selling your listing or are you selling your freaking headshot? Because you know what I mean?
That's one of the really biggest pieces that I do. I'm also, and I probably should have said this in the beginning when I did my intro, I'm also a coach for Ryan Serhant's Sell It program. And so I'm one of their real estate coaches. I coach 12 agents across the country. And that's one of the main things we talk about is storytelling. And
Mhm.
in real estate, it's so boring. I'm going to keep yelling that until I probably retire, because 90% of our industry continues to follow the same thing of pulling their headshot on a flyer, putting the address, putting the first shot that their photographer sent them for the front of the home, whatever it is. We can spice this up. We can have fun with it. And the first thing that comes to the table is storytelling. Why aren't we telling more stories? And if you
Mm.
go to any of my stuff on Instagram, you'll see that any of my listing videos, if you go to my
Oh,
reels, I usually pin them. My listing videos are all stories. They're
they've
stories
been
about the
amazing,
property.
by the way.
Thank you very much.
You have to
Thank
tell
you.
us about one of them.
Which one?
Like, I don't know, any like, what's your
Well,
favorite one?
well,
Explain.
okay. Well, you know what? You know what my favorite ones are? Are the ones that tell a complete story. They're
Okay.
never actually the ones that I don't think the ones that go super viral or like that. Like we just recently did the rap video, where it was the idea was that we did. My elderly client here in Florida texted me and she asked me to do a rap video, and I was like, what am I going to do? And then we had an AI bot like write us a song after we put some stuff in, and then it was really cool. You go check it out, and at the end of it says, I didn't say rap video, I said map video from and so it's to go along with the idea that why would an old woman ever want a rap video. And so here's the cool part: in the lyrics were everything about the home, the neighborhood, and everything else that we did in a fun way of just rapping. So people actually listened to the lyrics. We showed off the neighborhood and all the cool stuff. We showed off inside the house, and people's eyes were glued to this. I mean, I think it's gotten shared over 100 or something, a handful of times it's been shared. And so here's the coolest part: as a real estate agent, I was able to communicate the great value in my client's property and the neighborhood, and myself as an agent in finding out the best way to describe the home, and I kept people entertained. Now, that's one of my favorite. It cringes me out. I hate rapping. It was like cringed out. I was so uncomfortable. But I will tell you, you know what the cool part is though? It hit, and it was so funny because as an agent who does real estate, exactly, yeah, you get a little dance on it. So as someone that deals with like luxury properties, though, it's so funny. One of my luxury properties that we listed, we did like this classical look to it and this like nice thing. And the video didn't do anything. It really didn't tell a story that well. I don't think that well. We still did a good job in comparison. It did well. But my point is though, the owners come to me and they go, "When are you doing a rap video for our home?"
Oh,
So
no.
it was this moment for me as I'm still even learning though, is because as much as we talk about luxury real estate and this and that, it was a story. They followed my owners of my luxury property. They go, "Oh, we just love the story. It was just so funny at the end when the woman said map video." And here's the coolest part is if you made it to the map video, that means that you saw 2 minutes of the video.
Ooh.
And so I know that anyone says, "Oh, that was so funny at the end." I don't sit. I am like Mr. Scroller. I just like
Yeah.
people's stuff and I just move on with my life. I'm the worst. I'm the worst participant in this whole game. But what I will say is if you can make me stop for 2 minutes,
Yeah,
that's crazy. And so the fact that I'm able to do those are my favorite. And I
yeah.
have a couple like that, and you can go check them out. And there's some different stuff. And There's one that like wouldn't be nice, and we did like the wouldn't it be nice if you and it turns into like going from me in a snow jacket to sitting down on the beach. And there's a lot of cool stuff we're able to do with stories, and you have to dig deep because none
Mm,
of these properties were pretty. I mean, they were pretty, but none of them were like these luxury mansions. None of them were amazing properties that were just blown out of the water, shine on camera. Some of
mhm,
them were like boxed Lennar builds. If you don't know Lennar, it's like the Walmart of builders. So it's
mm,
like, your most generic new build home, but we still have a story to tell. And that comes from two different things. It comes from either the property, letting the property tell the story and saying, hey, this is what your life could be like. This is what this property is. This is how close it is, all those things. Or the flip side, it says, this is your client. You're up in the north freezing your ass off. Your life could be here, 5 minutes from the beach, living in here, and you place that person there. Now that story, following along what I could do as a consumer or what the home could do for me as a consumer, is much different than me flashing around looking good in a car or showing up, or like even like, I hate to say this, but like I love comedy, but just making funny jokes. The point is, I'm moving people an idea in their head. And that, let's go back to why we're doing this. We're here
mm,
to communicate an idea to people. We're
mm,
here to make them remember us. So, as much as if you're sitting out to be like, I can't make the funny stuff, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, figure out how to tell a story, because that's the
mhm,
most a valuable thing you can figure out how to do. And
mhm.
those are my favorite ones. Like, we
Yeah.
all put out content we don't like I do it daily, where I'm just like, this is part of the algorithm, it's part of the thing. We just put it out. It is what it is, and some of them do amazing. And it's so
Mhm,
funny when they do way better than my really great storyline stuff. But here's the thing: the storyline stuff always sells deals. It always gets me listings.
I'll tell people that all the time, like, yes, you can do these trends, you'll get high views, you'll get high shares, cool. But like if you take the time to really tell a story, it might be even a longer video, 30-second video, 2-minute video. That's
Mhm.
what's going to convert your people versus these dance and
Well,
videos.
and it's hard because I think that we look at metrics, and I think that
You.
metrics are so difficult, and I think that it's and you probably know, the longer you're in this game, the more it doesn't matter, which is bullshit, because I
Mhm.
wish that I really believed that more. Like, when you don't have
Me too.
10,000 followers, you want 10,000 followers. When you don't have this, you want that. I got more deals for my Instagram when I had under 4,000 followers than I do now.
Right?
Do you know why? I guarantee, I don't know for facts. There's no way to actually know. I think it is because multiple people have told me, Dan, I think you're too busy for us. Dan, I think you
Ooh,
only deal with a certain set of people. Dan, I
ooh,
see that you're all over the place, and I just don't know if you have time for us.
ooh.
So if you're out there with less than 5,000 followers, less than 2,000 followers, less than 1,000 followers, just know that there's probably people like you that will beat me out on deals.
Mhm.
All you have to do is just tell you the story of why you want to beat them out. Now, guaranteed, I still get deals because of my following and other things. So it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. I'm not saying that's worse, but I used to get more leads. I used to get
Yeah.
more organic leads of people that said, "Hey Dan, our family's moving from Iowa.
Wow.
We'd love to help. We'd love to have you help us." Because I was always there saying, "Hey, how can I help?" Now, I love my life and I love where it's going. I'm doing different things and I'm growing a lot of different stuff, and I am busy. And people
Mm,
see that because I'm true to who I am. Now, my goals in branding on social media now is a little different. I'm doing
mhm.
more public speaking. I'm more, in a
Woo!
coaching sphere. And yeah, woo. And I think that for me, that's where my branding lies. And I need people to see that I am busy. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Because I am busy. But at the same time, when you're in the game of attraction of helping people, that's the other tool. You
mhm,
need people to feel like they can reach out to you. The whole
mhm,
point of doing it, all of this, the videos, the attraction, the pushing, the filming, the cutting, all the stuff is just to get conversations. So
mm,
why aren't we out there trying to pursue a conversation with one, two, three people? So
right.
I urge anyone that with a lower following to understand that you have as much opportunity as I do, or anyone else in our industry, and don't look at metrics. I can
One
I can tell you how many people in real estate have fake followers, and it's hilarious. So please don't care about metrics or followers or anything like that. What I care about is the three conversations I see under a reel, and someone says, "Oh my goodness, I've been looking to move here. Can you tell me more?"
love that.
Yeah, Greg and Sarah from Ohio are about to do a deal with you. That's what's about to happen.
Yes, yes. You're talking about these conversations. So, do you have a specific strategy when it comes to like engaging with these people? Like, Do you send them a DM? Do you reply and like what does that look like for you when these people do comment on your content? Because I think this is where a lot of people drop the ball. They'll let people comment and they're just trying to get as many comments as possible. And
Mhm.
then guess what? They don't talk to anyone.
Well, I think that there's two pieces of that. Don't be scared to sell. That's the
Mm,
first thing. We are salespeople. Everyone, honestly, if you break it down to like everyone's job, everyone's in sales. Um, I think that you can't be scared to sell in the fact that if someone says, "Oh my god, that's so gorgeous," click on their profile and see if they live in the area. If they don't
okay.
have anything, like you have to make a guess and make an educated guess. But most people that are posting on mine, and you can see like, they follow University of Michigan or something like that. Like you can make an
Right.
educated guess on some things, like if you have mutual followers or something like that. If they don't, just write, yeah, when are you coming down to move here? And you could be
Ooh,
off on something and they could be like, oh, we actually already own a vacation home. That's so awesome. Don't you love living here? That's your conversation back and forth. The
there
other
you go.
one, it's like, hey, when are you coming down to visit? I don't know. My husband and I are looking. My response to that would be, um, let me know. I don't deal with rentals, but let me know if you ever want to have a discussion about that. I always try to push people to DMs, no matter what. It doesn't matter. I always tell people I don't actually deal with rentals. So I can never help with rentals. I can never help with jobs here. I know people, but I'm not like a job board. I can't get you into schools. I'm not any bigger than anyone else. Like I have all these questions, but here's the thing. I'd much rather have someone ask these questions to me in private because
Yeah.
then I have a relationship factor where they feel comfortable asking me questions.
Hmm.
So when you're saying, do I have a script? No, I'm a human. That's what I say. The script is being a human. And if you're like, oh, Dan, I'm an odd human, I am too. But no, I get it where you don't want to like sell someone, but just ask the question. They went out of their way to write a comment. If the comment's 3 hearts, just be like, what did you like about it? Once again, be
Great.
curious.
Yeah.
If it's like, I love this place, what did you like about it?
Yeah.
When are you coming back? Like all
Yes.
continue the conversation. And here's the thing. That's what I would want if I actually have genuine reciprocation in communication. I want genuine talking. So if it's like someone's like, "Oh my god, I love this." Like, "Okay, well tell me why." Like I understand that people are quick with their social media responses, but like what do you actually like about it? If they don't respond, maybe they're just supporting me and being nice or maybe they're busy and who cares. But if
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I actually just love this because my kids." I've had this response. I've put in a video out there of how light the waves are and how much I love it for my kids. I had a
Mm,
mom that wrote, "Oh my god, this is great." And I was like, "It is really great and it's a much safer place for kids to play on the beach." She
mm.
contacted me in the private and she goes, "You know what? That's one of my biggest fears in Florida is water safety." And I went on telling her about my kids are in swim and all this kind of this and that. They ended up moving here and using me as a real estate agent. They were looking at Fort
Wow.
Lauderdale. So here's the thing is like you don't know where your conversations or your help is going to go. You
Mhm,
need to have every conversation like they're going to be your next client. And
mhm.
even if they're looking, oh my God, I'm not looking to move to Florida, Dan, but we are looking to move to Georgia. And do you have any insight on like mortgage rates right now? Yeah, mortgage rates are really high right now. It's a really struggle in the industry. I do know a couple agents up in the Georgia area that would really help you out. Could I help you out and introduce you to them? I just went from most agents will look at that as a wasted opportunity to making 25% of whatever that referral is.
Hey,
But
yeah,
the
referral.
point is it's I'm helping.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm just
Yep.
helping. I'm just
You're
being a
helping.
human. I'm just helping and I'm being curious. So you
Yeah.
need to be curious with your questions. You need to be curious with what people want out of it. And you need to be okay with selling. And I hate to say this, but like we're in the cool age of selling. It's not as much
Mhm.
like used car salesman anymore. You can be
Yeah,
genuine, you can be cool, and you can be helpful and still sell.
yeah,
Say, hey, do you want to know more about the property? It's okay if
yeah,
they say no.
yeah, you're right. We don't have to look at it as being cringy and salesy, but
We have to ask for the sale. We have to.
you do, and I'm not a salesy person very much, but I do know when I do have those conversations or I do talk about it, I typically will get the sale. So you can't be scared to have that conversation.
Well, I think that everyone looks at it like we don't want to, do what people do to us all day. Well,
Right.
no, we're not. If we're coming, and that's where I always tell myself, go look in the mirror, Dan, and ask yourself a question. Are you coming from value? Do you want to help them? And do you want to give them a high level of service? If the answers are yes, then go sell them because you're going to help them away from all the other scumbags that are going to screw them over, not help them, and take their money.
Mm.
If you're in business for the right reasons, it shouldn't be hard to sell. We should be
Mhm.
helping others to save them from getting into all the other crap that other people are.
Right. You're doing them a disservice if you don't take this off.
1,000%. How can I help you? Oh
Yeah.
my God, I don't really cover Tampa, but I know someone great up there.
Mm,
I can make the decision on how I help them, but at the end of the day, it's like I think we need to come from a service-based conversation, especially, and here's the thing is if you're not in real estate, it may be a little bit more transactional, right? If you're
mhm,
having 100 conversations a day because you're selling blankets, that's different. And I get it.
mhm,
You have to be a little more transactional. There may be some AI and leverage on automation for you that helps, and then you have a deeper conversation. But the point is, you still need to have an opener, a point where people can ask something or say a statement and that you draw them in with that opener. Oh, would you like to know more? How can I help you find out more about this?
mhm,
What was holding you back from making the move? What was holding you back from hitting the purchase button? We have to ask questions. And if anything, social media, that was the reason everyone loves social is it's a one-to-one on the basis, right? Like I can put out a video, 300 people see it, and then people can comment with me right away. Now let's bring it the next level down though. They can comment with me, but then I can continue that level of conversation and trust. And that can continue going through the thread, right? And then we move it to DMs, but we're under a base level of trust at that point. And I'm
mhm,
much farther in a communication cycle with them than anyone else because
mhm.
they're one to one. And
Yeah,
so I think that the exciting piece of social is now gone because it's not so one to one, like, oh my God, look who I found because there's so much out there. But
yeah,
it's that same ease is easy when you jump down into the level of conversation and go, hey, I'm a local expert. How can I help you? Like, if you ever need a plumber, like a hairdresser, like I know all the people here.
value.
They at some point in my world, I'm cool if you buy in 2 3 years.
Mm,
I'll take a client in 2 3 years. Freaking 4 years is fine.
yeah,
Come in 4 years and still remember me. But my point is that we have to take these levels of conversation deeper than just, oh my God, that's so great. I know, isn't it awesome? Why do you think that?
yes. You talked about you're really good with sales, which is probably why you're a realtor. Um, you talked about AI. Do you use what kind of AI do you use? Here's my question. Actually, this is a loaded question. You're
I
a
love it. Load it
dad,
up.
you're a dad, a business owner, a coach, a husband. How do you handle all of this? Do you use AI to streamline
Yeah.
any of your
I
workflow?
I don't know if I streamline my workflow. I use it daily, all day long. I use it daily, all day long for a lot of factual data. So I'll dump a lot of like keyword research in there, get
Okay.
ideas. So I use a lot of tools like SEMrush. I'm a big SEMrush guy, so SEMrush is my life. I spend a lot of time there. If anyone doesn't know what SEMrush is, it's search engine marketing. SEM is that, and it's Rush. It's just a company that does a service to look up web traffic and organic and paid for keywords, and that kind of is like the precipice of search online, whether it be SEO or SEM or even social at this point. So I actually use a lot to do research. So I use a lot of research on SEM and then bring it into ChatGPT and go through different ideas or longer, different ways to get more clients in searching for stuff. Really, at the end of the day, I
Mm,
don't use AI much more than that. I use it in a conversational, like it's like a personal assistant to me. How do I handle everything in the day to day? I just wake up with an attitude of wanting to win. I don't, there is no perfect schedule. There's no perfect leverage. There's no perfect balance. Honestly, every day is an insane sprint that I just try to figure out. And every time I figure out a system that helps something, something changes and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like something breaks or something happens. So to be honest, like AI works for me how I make it work. Like I'm scared to put into models that run automated for me. Like I have
yeah, of
automation systems in my CRM, but in
course.
terms of like actual content producing, whether it be blogs or scripts and stuff like that, I can't leave it up to it to just do itself. I'm so
Mm,
customized. But I
okay.
do love the amount that I use ChatGPT as like a, yeah, that's pretty much all I use it. But I use it all day long. Like there's a couple different if you're on this and if you made it this far, I should reward you. It's called ChatGPT Q. It's my favorite new plugin and you use it
Oh,
on, it's a Google Chrome plugin, Chat GPT Q, and it's QUEUE. Something like that. Q like the line, like UK
okay.
line.
Okay.
Anyways, what it does is it batches prompts together. So you can do like they have some scripts on it. And if you made it this far, go find me on Instagram and I'll send you my prompts for it. They're like 20-line prompts that after every time. So instead of you having to sit there, hit a prompt, wait for the answer, hit a prompt, you just set it and it will talk to ChatGPT for like 10 minutes and then give you a full documented out thing. So I use it for like blogging and stuff like that, where we do deep research into um, you know, on the internet about certain topics and then formulate a very good blog post with all high level SEO and H tags and all that stuff like that. And at the end of it, it pumps me out an HTML version of it. So I just copy and paste it into my blog. So
Amazing.
I do things like that where I utilize it, but I'm still using it. Like I wish I could get to a point where I just feed it 30 things and then 30 blog posts just pop up on my website, but it's not there
Yeah,
yet. So
I'm not there yet either. And I just feel like I still feel like ChatGPT can be very ChatGPT-y. So I
yes.
have to go in and put my own spin on
and
things.
and that's the thing too, is like you have to get really good with researching and making things your own. And I
Yeah.
think that the best thing that I was ever able to do was, since this is, more than just social, I know you do a lot of branding. From the biggest thing I ever did to make it a success in managing my entire brand as I grow on all levels is understanding my communication behaviors and understanding how to communicate my language and getting really good at it. So, in terms of ChatGPT, it would pump out a bunch of jargon bullshit, right? And then I realized I'm like, I should know how to say this pretty good back and forth. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Myself, in terms of my product or my industry. And what I found was is when I became an expert on how to talk and what to say in a generic space, I could either fix what ChatGPT was saying or respond to people kind of the way ChatGPT always responds to people, in a
Right.
very formulated, specific way. And because of that, I think it started to help me change out some of the descriptions from that by just being an expert on, like, okay, if you want to move to Sarasota, here's the taxes, here's the property, here's the areas.
Ooh,
Like, if you just kind of know your specifics, you
yeah,
can kind of interchange a lot of your own content out to keep it
yeah,
fresh.
yeah. I like that. I like that. What about, do you schedule your content?
No, I think people should. I
How
don't.
many times a week do you post?
Uh, 3 to 6. I don't like scheduling mine because I think that I have a lot of stuff going on that I don't like to leave up to the world. There's so many things going on that I always feel out the day and what's happening. I don't know why, but I'll have content saved up. So I won't necessarily batch it, but I will sit and I think I have like 4 to 6 drafts at all time just sitting in there that are generic, right? And I
Okay.
run sets of things. So I have like listings will launch, list like a listing reel, a listing photos, and then I have like 3 generic posts I do, which are like a move to Florida, a stats about the area, or a fun, shock and awe video on my personal one. So I'll always have those 3 backed up, and then our listings are obviously come in as they come in. Now, I won't post a listing. Listings have to be posted on certain days, and listing reels have to be posted on certain days. And because of that, the other things can't be scheduled. It's a very weird, and it's, now that I'm saying this out loud, I could probably fix it, but I don't. So I'm very protective of timing because I am a believer in real estate. You should always post before 9 o'clock. And that is like one of the only times you should post on Instagram. For some freaking odd reason, unless you have some crazy comedy viral thing, it's either like 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, or it's like 2 o'clock PM. And that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like we pay a lot of money for these videos. And like if you're doing a
Yeah.
listing video and it costs me $700 to shoot a video, I
Oof.
am perfecting the time that it gets released. And the time is always going to be on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before 9 a.m.
Is that just for your audience or you think for everyone?
Unfortunately, I think it's everyone. And I do not want to go, I don't want to suspend, I don't want to tell everyone that because I don't want people to come in my inbox, but I guarantee try it. And you know why I want to say that is because on the East Coast, you have people that wake up at 6 a.m. and they're up before work on Instagram, and they're not going to be, those people aren't touching Instagram until they're at lunch or out of work. So here's the thing, you have to get, like, I'll have some reels go off at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'll have 100 likes before any of my West Coast friends even wake up.
Wow.
But if I post at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that's 11 o'clock on the West Coast. They're mid working. Like, not everyone works like me, where I can just grab my phone whenever I want.
Right.
People work in nurses in offices and all these other places. Like, my wife looks at her phone like 3 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't. She's not like me. Like, I look at my phone every 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
I am a believer in if I can get the earlier shares, the earlier comments, the better. When I show up on someone's stuff early in the morning and I'm a little bit better than everyone else's stuff in the morning, they're gonna be apt to do something with it. So if you're struggling with timing, just try a morning one. You never know. I could be
Yeah.
completely wrong. Freaking everything that comes out that's like the expert on Instagram, I have no idea. So who knows?
I feel like there's a range based on, come on, when people wake up in the morning and when they're going to bed. Now you need to decide for your time frame. Are you East Coast or are you West Coast? But typically I do like
Now
8:30, 9.
I'm selling homes and it's a ton
Right.
of money. It's different than if I was selling candy, and that would be like, yeah, post at 2 o'clock every single day when everyone wants candy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's different. What mine is like heavy subjects, like, should we
Yeah.
move to Florida or not, honey? Like, that's
Right. Yeah, you're
I want to
right.
be in everyone's mind throughout their day. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I think that what I have found is that as long as I continue showing up with good content, it really doesn't truly matter. But with my perfectionism, I will say, like, yeah, there's definitely times, but I still just like putting out reels for reels, like the art sake of it. I really still am very
I
much in the
love it.
artistic phase of it, and I like using music I like. I do not like some of it's trending, but like to be honest, most of the time I use music that I like because I like it.
Love that. No, it
I don't
is.
know.
It's like it's a art. I just love posting. Sometimes I have to be like, "Stop, Caitlin. You have to wait a couple hours before you can post that next."
Yeah. And I was like, no, have it. Sometimes I'll post 3 reels in like the same day, and I'm like, well, that happened. I was on a
Yes,
little creative kick. Should have left them in the
right?
drafts, but it doesn't.
And
I think at the end of the day, it's like, here's the thing. The algorithm was going to algorithm, but at the end of the day, if people are searching for someone just searched the other day and called me and they said, I searched for Sarasota Realtor and you were one of the first 3 people to come up and I just liked your personality.
mm,
The amount of people that say that to me, and I think that that needs to be honed down way more than timing, way more than tricks or anything like that. They just said, Dan, I like your vibe. Vibe and
mm,
personality comes up to me a lot. And I
yep,
go, that's just crazy because I'm just myself. That's all I am. Like, genuinely, I love just goofing around, having fun, being myself, being,
you're
a
awesome.
valuable person. But I think that when someone says to me, hey, Dan, I love your vibe or your personality, it makes me stop because I go, holy crap, like this is gonna be fun.
Mm,
I can be myself. I don't have to shade to try to be someone else or oh my god, they're luxury, put this certain shirt on. They see me in my tie-dye shirt running on the beach with my kids. Like that's me.
I've
And
seen the
if
tie-dye shirt.
yeah, so like I'm a hippie inside, man. I'm a chill dude. Like this is me to make money, but I think at the end of the day, if someone sees you for your personality, your vibe, then you realize it's like, hey, that's pretty cool. That means that they want to work with me because of who I am.
Mhm,
And if that isn't the coolest thing in the world, I don't know what is. Because
mhm.
it's one thing to love your job, it's another thing that you love your job so much that other people want to work with you. And I think that for me it drives me to do everything.
It does. It does. I listened to a podcast yesterday and it was like this guy chose who he was going to work with based on their enthusiasm. And that goes with your vibe or your personality.
Yeah.
I think that is why people choose to work with you or not. This has been so insightful. You are just a gold mine of really great ideas and tips. And how can people follow you? How can they work with you? Tell us all about that.
Yeah, just find me on Instagram, Dan the Realtor. I'm pretty easy to find, Dan underscore the underscore realtor. You can, if you want to work with me on a real estate space in coaching, you can find me, just message me on there. That's the easiest way to find me, to be totally honest. If not, you can check out All Sarasota. It's a page I run. If not, if you're in Sarasota, hit me up. I always appreciate everything you do online, Caitlin. I think that you are such a cool light for so many people that are starting, but also in a very much space where being online is a big up and down thing where, you go learn things and then you're like going down the precipice of death and want to give up. And then something good
Mm,
happens and goes up and down. So I think that there's a cool reality that you bring to all this. And I think that you are always curious as well to figure out how people can optimize and become better versions of themselves. So continue doing this. And I was so happy to come on here. So
you're
thank you
the
for the invite. And
sweetest.
thanks so much.
Yes, you're the sweetest, Dan. We'll have to do this again because I loved talking to you. But this was awesome.
I'm down.
Thank you guys for listening. And that's it.